Hey guys, welcome to the daily update of Madcap Report. Today is
Thursday, March the 2nd.
Thank you. I am Fury, of course, and with me as always is Malcolm Wright. Today we have a few things to talk about. First off, we'll start with TV, and Malcolm's going to give us a rundown on Legion and Arrow real quick.
Alright, so I'll start with Legion. So yesterday I said that the episode would mainly focus on the issue of David wanting to go after his sister, even though it's probably not the best idea. And I was actually totally wrong. Because at the time of the episode, David was lost in the astral plane, believe it or not.
What? Wait. He okay. If I remember my comic books correctly, Legion has the ability to alter reality by traveling through the astral plane, correct?
Yes.
So he's in this show, he's just now beginning to figure out he actually has these abilities, he has these powers, and he's learning to deal with them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he trapped himself in the damn astral plane?
Well, kind of, sort of. In the episode last week, they gave him a mild sedative so they have a person at their little place that can kind of go and look through your memories. Because the whole idea is, the show purports this idea that, a lot of the early mutants, instead of knowing they have powers, a lot of the times they're just accused of being mentally ill.
Cool.
So the idea is they go through your memories and they say, you might have thought you were having an episode with your illness, but really it was your powers manifesting. However, because David is so powerful and his powers are mentally based, they were having trouble doing that.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So they tried to sedate him to make the process easier. Unfortunately, there were some side effects.
Backfired a little, huh?
Yeah, and he ended up drifting into the astral plane, which is interesting because while he was there, he met someone.
Who? Is it someone we know?
It is not someone we know. Well, the actor is someone we know, but the character is the husband of Melanie Bird, who runs the school, so to speak.
Who's the actor?
Jermaine Clement.
Really?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember where I know him from, but I didn't remember the name.
He was in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, right.
A bunch of other things. I mainly remember him from Flight of the Conchords.
Yes, I remember him now.
So
it's just, me, I'm terrible with remembering where names are from.
But yeah, while he is dealing with that, his friends in the physical world are trying to piece together his past because they're realizing that his memories as they're seeing them might not necessarily be what happened. Because as us fans know, it's possible that his memories are being tampered with by the yellow-eyed devils, as he is known. It is possible that, David is altering his memories himself to repress things.
Also possible that the altered memories may be a setup for someone else coming in, someone who's lacking follicles, shall we say?
Yeah, anything is possible at this point. So we have them dealing with this, and we get to see some interesting backstory on some of the characters we've only gotten a glance at so far in the show. Like a brother and sister, both named Carrie, who technically live in the same body, but not necessarily.
This is a complex show, folks. You probably should watch it yourselves.
Yes. But, so one thing we discovered is that while many of David's memories that we have seen before feature the character Lenny, played by Aubrey Plaza, he apparently did not meet Lenny until they were in the institution together. And he, in fact, had a male friend named Benny, who he got into a lot of trouble with back in the day. So there's a lot going on, and the line between imagination and reality and altered memory is getting blurrier and blurrier as they've tried to delve deeper into the mystery of it all.
Interesting. And you were telling me a little bit about Arrow last night earlier.
Yeah.
This sounds like it was really cool.
All right, so as I mentioned yesterday, this episode of Arrow is about Oliver Queen as Mayor Queen being targeted by a vigilante because the news story breaks that in the past couple months there was an incident where Prometheus, who's kind of like a Dark Archer type villain, set up a situation where the Green Arrow thought he was going to kill Prometheus, finally put it all to bed in the whole situation.
Yeah.
But he was tricked.
Of course he was.
It wasn't Prometheus. It was Officer Billy Malone of the Anti-Crime Unit.
Who, wasn't that Felicity's main squeeze at the moment?
Yes, it was.
Joy.
So...
I'm sorry, Felicity. I just killed your boyfriend.
Yeah. So it's discovered that the mayor knew, and he covered it up. So the city council is holding meetings to impeach him, and Vigilante has decided he's just as bad as any common criminal, so he's got to go.
Of course he did.
This is a very interesting episode because while this is happening, Prometheus himself does not appreciate someone else going after Oliver Queen or the Green Arrow because, that's his kill.
Yeah.
And during this episode, we have a huge revelation, a shocking one, in that we finally get to see Prometheus unmasked.
We won't reveal who it is, though.
We won't reveal who it is, but I will say it is very shocking, and it's even more shocking when you consider that...
The comic book aspect.
Yeah, the comic book aspect of who that character is, because they have a different identity in the comics. But
Yes, absolutely.
Again, another small note about the episode, we got to see the first example of Mr. Terrific's T-spheres being functional this episode.
Nice.
Because they used them to track Vigilante.
Oh, very cool.
So that was really exciting.
For those of us who are comic book nerds, we're all going, oh, look, that's, yes! However, everyone else is like, huh?
Long story short, the T-spheres, they're little, orbs that are like drones, basically.
Kind of like the Golden Retrievers in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Basically little hoverbots that do lots of fancy science stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great episode of Arrow.
On TV tonight, there's a lot of genre shows on Thursday night right now. And the two that we have are both on CW, actually.
Yes, they are.
We have Supernatural, which I actually enjoy, but I'm about a year behind on. So I don't know much about what's happening right now. One day I need Chase in here to talk about Supernatural, because he's a huge fan.
Yeah.
Also is Riverdale, which is, of course, based off the classic Archie comics.
Loosely.
Very, very, very loosely based off, I should say. They took the names, and that's about it.
They took the names. They took some of the character relationships, and I like to call it the Twisted Archie show.
Yeah.
Because they've taken basically the entire concept of Riverdale, the happy-go-lucky, simple little town, and flipped it entirely on its head.
Yeah. They're talking about Sabrina the Teenage Witch showing up in that.
That'll be interesting.
That she's one town over.
I wonder, will she have powers, or will she just be...
Apparently, what it'll be, they're talking about it. So it'll be like she won't use her powers while she's there, but when she's back in her own, we might see a new Sabrina. They're talking about a new Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show, live action.
That could be fun.
I don't know. I mean, Melissa Joan Hart, though. Speaking of someone who's old enough to remember, Clarissa explains it all.
Yeah. Hey, that used to be my favorite show. Man.
Mine too, after school.
Yep. Wish I had a friend who would bother to, put a
Ladder up,
to my
Sam.
window to climb up just to hang out.
Sam.
Man put in a lot of effort to hang out.
I thought Sam was such a cool character, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Also on TV, we should talk about they are just rolling out these Inhumans.
yes, that's actually just what I was going to mention. Ken
Lung.
Thank you.
Sorry, I may have just mispronounced his name, but
Yes, we apologize if we have.
I couldn't find the proper pronunciation online, and
He's got, the guy's got background in genre.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of it, actually, because he was in Lost.
Yep.
He was in Star Wars The Force Awakens as one of the admirals.
Yep.
And he was also in X-Men The Last Stand. He was Kid Omega. Now, I don't remember anyone actually referring to him as Kid Omega, but I do remember he had I believe, an Omega tattoo.
Yeah.
Where was it, though? I can't remember. Was it his neck?
It might have been his neck.
I think it was his neck.
It was somewhere very visible.
It was. So he had an Omega tattoo. I didn't put it together until I looked it up earlier that, oh, wait, he was supposed to be Kid Omega.
Yeah. Which, that was an unfortunate side effect of The Last Stand, having a huge cast that did not get a lot of screen time.
Yeah, it was, because Kid Omega is a very cool character. Quentin Query, I believe, is his name. And I actually hate him, but he's still a cool character. I do. I hate Quentin. He's such an asshole.
He's a jerk, but that's what makes him fun.
Yeah. So he has been confirmed as Karnak, who is Black Bolt's cousin.
Yeah. Karnak, he's Black Bolt's cousin, one of his most trusted advisors, and his superpower is that he is able to see the flaw in anything. A plan, a structure,
That's
a
gotta
personality.
Be annoying as fuck. There, that's my one. We're PG-13. That's my one.
Yeah, that's your one. So he can see the flaw in anything, and that makes him, a pretty good advisor. So you go, hey, Karnak, check out this plan we got. Yeah, it's cool, but if you do this, you're going to mess up everything.
God damn. All right.
So yeah, that's 4 cast members we've had announced. Pretty much, yeah. Maximus, Medusa,
right.
Black Bolt, and now
I forgot
Karnak.
about Maximus.
So far, we have up to 3 left if they're doing the entire
Royal family.
Yeah. So here's hoping soon we'll get the casting announcements for Crystal, Gorgon, and Triton.
Yes. See, there have been 2 characters named Gorgon in Marvel. One was a Hydra agent, of course.
Yeah.
And one was one of the Inhumans.
Yes.
They were 2 different characters, actually.
Yeah, very different characters. However, we'll see how things go.
Yeah. I want to talk about books real quick.
Well, actually, before we go to books, there's one more TV thing we need to mention.
Oh, the Rebels thing.
Not just the Rebels thing, also DuckTales.
Yes, of course.
So, just today, a new trailer dropped for the new reboot of DuckTales.
Starring David Tennant.
Yes, the cast for that show is phenomenal. Look it up. There are a lot of people you know and love that are going to be involved in that show, including David Tennant.
And Scrooge McDuck. It's brilliant. We actually have a Scottish guy being Scrooge.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's very exciting. And I just wanted to mention that while we're talking about TV.
Yeah.
But we also need to talk about Star Wars.
Let's talk about DuckTales a little more. You and I just watched the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
We just watched it.
We just watched the trailer before filming the episode. And it looks really good, guys.
Yeah, this is something that, people like us who grew up with the original one are going to enjoy for the nostalgia reasons and also for the entertainment value, because it is really, from what I'm seeing so far, really well written. And also, I think your kids are going to enjoy it too. So this is definitely one of the things that we're talking about that's family friendly. Yeah,
it looks fun. It looks smart. It looks really entertaining. A little on the silly side, but
it's
in the perfect. Yeah,
it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. We have Snow White talking to birds.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. One day. When's that due back? It's on hiatus right now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not sure when it's coming back.
when it comes back, we'll need to talk about that. That's a fun show too.
Yeah. But there is one more thing we want to talk about on TV.
Rebels.
Star Wars Rebels. One
Which
of
is
the
a
best
good-
animated TV shows out there.
Absolutely. Mon Mothma's coming. That it was announced earlier that they are going to show Mon Mothma because we are getting so close to the time where Rebels and Rogue One meet up. And by the way, Easter egg in Rogue One, if you missed it, go back and watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray. The Ghost, the ship the Rebels fly, is actually in that space battle. It is there. You can see it. It's actually fairly close to the camera too.
Yeah.
So you're gonna, if you look carefully, you'll see it because it is such a smaller ship compared to so many of the other ones there.
Yeah.
But it is there. So at the very least, Hera was there. Hera was there at the battle that stole the Death Star plans. So
Exciting.
yeah. So you know what? We may see the Rebels further on. The Rebels storyline might go past the destruction of the Death Star.
It just might, and that would be very
I'd be okay
impressive.
with that.
Yeah.
That would be a cool idea. Because the way it's setting it up that way, you can go, oh, see, they were there.
Yeah.
They were part of that fight. Oh, I also found out something else. The reason the Wedge Antilles, who those of us who are huge Star Wars fans know is one of the best fighter pilots in the Rebellion, isn't at that battle, is to fix a plot hole.
Yeah.
The fact that when he first sees because all those guys see the Death Star.
Yeah.
He first sees the Death Star at Yavin 4. So when he says, look at the size of that thing, it's to fix that plot hole.
Yeah.
That's why Wedge wasn't there. I was wondering why Wedge wasn't there, because Wedge is one of my favorite minor characters of Star Wars.
Yeah. He's told me about it on end.
Come on, Legends vs. Wedge is so cool!
Add link. But we're not even going to get them started on that right now.
Yes, we'll wait for the Star Wars episode that we're going to do on Saturday. It'll be long and drawn out. But yes, Mon Mothma is coming to Star Wars Rebels. I'm kind of excited about that because that's a very important part of the rebellion, is Mon, because we don't actually see Mon, funnily enough. Before we saw Rogue One, the first time we actually saw her in the movies was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see her take her centerpiece as a centerpiece of the rebellion.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Which is a good segue into the book I want to talk about.
Go for it.
Timothy Zahn wrote perhaps the greatest books in the Star Wars expanded universe, Star Wars Legends.
Yeah.
Now, he has been hired by Lucasfilm to write a new Thrawn novel that is canon.
Nice.
It's coming out April 11th, and the reason that's a great segue in is Thrawn has appeared in Rebels for the past season.
Yeah.
So there's a new novel coming out that's going to tell about his early career, his rise to Grand Admiral.
Oh, nice.
So it's called Star Wars Thrawn. It's available April 11th. I am so excited about this because it is Timothy Zahn writing it, and he has written so many cool things for Star Wars.
And most of it's not canon.
No, most of it isn't, although the important things might be going there because recently in Rebels they used the term Emperor's Hand.
Oh. I need to catch up on Rebels,
Yes,
to be honest.
what's the governor of Mandalore was called, I believe it was called the Emperor's Hand. So that could be, we might be seeing at some point the revelation that Mara Jade is actually canon.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome because that is one of the most badass female characters ever created for Star Wars, another Timothy Zahn creation. So if they were to include her, I'm a huge Mara Jade fanboy. I'll be the first to admit it.
And the last. I'm kidding.
No, but it is such a cool character.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little off track, and I'm sorry about that. I could talk all day about Star Wars. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. Which, speaking of apparel, yours, Logan.
Logan. tonight, baby. Going to the early showing.
Yes, Malcolm will be going to the early showing. I unfortunately cannot. He will be doing, as he's walking into the theater, a
Quick
Facebook Live video.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick Facebook Live broadcast tonight, right before seeing the movie, because I figured why not? It's exciting. It's a movie premiere, and had to rock the gear,
Absolutely.
represent for the X.
Yes, the final X for these two guys. So,
Yeah,
you need to I'm going to go see it tomorrow at the earliest showing available.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So catch me on the Madcap Facebook page, the Madcap Report Facebook page,
yes.
at around 9 o'clock, 9:30.
And-
While we're standing in line to get into the theater, I'm just going to talk a bit about the movie, get some reactions from the other people in line if they don't mind.
Well, at the very least, you can harass the guys here at Jupiter. I'm sure
Yeah,
you could get Zach to talk a little bit.
a little bit.
If not, be a bit of a wise ass. Okay, also, gaming. As I mentioned before, the Switch is coming out this month. Today, actually, isn't it?
I'm not sure if it's today, but it's very soon.
It's today at midnight, or something like that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, however, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild comes out. I've been looking at this game. Now, this is going to date me a bit. I'm actually the same age as the Legend of Zelda games.
Mm-hmm.
They were released in 1986. I was born in 86, so
Yeah.
Zelda's been a part of my life ever since I started gaming.
Yeah.
And Link is my main man. So definitely check this out. I've been looking at the graphics, the videos, and everything. I'm going to buy a Switch in a little while. I just bought my PS4, so I'm not getting it right now.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you're getting the Switch, get Breath of the Wild.
Well, I mean, if they're getting a Switch right now, they don't have much of a choice.
Well, there's Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
which
Like I
also
said-
looks
like I
like an
said-
awesome game.
Like I said, not much of a choice. That is not bagging on the Nintendo Switch. Just I would not blame anyone who holds off on buying it for a little while
Mhm.
until they get more games put onto it.
Yes.
But it's still a very exciting console, and some of the work they're doing.
I actually saw some of the handles, and it's going to be a fairly small screen.
Yeah,
You look at it in the videos, and it looks like it's going to be much bigger than it actually is.
yeah. It's very much built to be a handheld device when it's a handheld device.
Yes, absolutely. I was expecting it to be about the size of an iPad with controllers on it. It's not. It's a bit smaller than that.
I'd say it's even a little bit smaller than the Wii U pad.
No, the screen isn't. Screen's about the same size. But overall, actually the screen's probably a little bigger, but the overall size is probably a little not as long.
Yeah.
The width's probably about the same, though.
So yeah, it's very exciting, and it's looking like it's going to be good.
It is. It's going to be a very interesting game. Because it's the first really open world Zelda game we've ever had.
Yeah. As if it wasn't hard enough to stay on track until the game's already.
That's true. I mean, think about the early Game Boy versions.
I'm thinking about how much time I wasted in Link to the Past. Let me wander around here and cut grass. And oh, it's a chicken. Let's kill it.
Kill the chicken! Kill the
My
chicken!
God, being God.
Yeah, those chickens were vicious.
Yeah.
Little vicious things. Also, there is a charity that it's a non-profit public charity called Comics for Kids. That's comics with a K and the number 4, not the word, for kids. It's a literacy program.
Oh, awesome.
It's children's literacy. We'll bring you more about it on our Saturday show because I'm still in the process of reading all the info and everything about it. We were just emailed about it last night. I haven't had a chance to sit down and read everything yet. But it's actually something I'm kind of excited about because the guy who started it is a lifelong comic book collector.
Ooh.
I've actually met the guy. He comes in Jupiter every now and then, and he's using some of his own comics to start this.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
yeah, all about getting the kids to read.
Yeah, well, it's like LeVar Burton used to say. You and I are both old enough to remember his reading Rainbow.
Yeah. Butterfly in the sky.
Yeah. But he said, if your kids want to read comic books, buy them comic books because at least they're reading something. And he's right about that. I absolutely agree. If you're having trouble getting your kids reading something, get a comic book, their age range comic book. It's something to help them develop the ability to picture what's happening.
Yeah.
It helped me when I was younger.
Yeah. Like, I know there are concerns. You want your kids to read, books, but comic books, they're still a great medium. They might not always be the most informative, but generally what's good now is that since there are age-appropriate comic books more today than there have been in the past,
yes,
we're seeing a lot of comic books with more stringent morals for the kids to read, so you don't have to worry about some of the more questionable things you might
jumping
hear
in
about.
and out of bed, multiple partners. I'm thinking She-Hulk. Sorry. Come on.
You're not wrong.
This was a character that for a while This is a character that got kicked out of the Avengers Mansion by Tony Stark for partying too much and bringing home too many male underwear models. If Tony Stark's telling you, hey, you're partying too much.
So, yeah. Point being, so there are comic books that kids can read that will not feature things like that.
Yes.
So, it's okay. They'll probably might not teach you the best lessons, but they'll try to teach you a good one.
Yes.
And they'll try to tell a good story about, I would say, friendship, compassion, truth, justice, the whole thing.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yeah, things like that. So, comics for kids.
Yes, absolutely.
A great cause that we're definitely going to support in whatever way we can.
Absolutely. Like I said, we will be talking more about it this weekend. I'll give you some of the reading material that he sent me.
All right.
So we can talk more in depth about it. He is literally just starting, so are we. So that's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good way to partner up. Is we're both very young in what we're doing, shall we say? I'm good. Do you have anything that I've missed? Because I can't think of anything else.
No, nothing off the top of my head.
All right. So that's it for today. I'm Fury, and I'll see you on the flip side, guys.
And as always, I'm Malcolm Wright, and see you later.